A month ago, I released a video titled, "What if WCW had lived?" where pretty much I just booked a Nitro show, what could have been the first WCW back. This video did quite well, and whilst over Christmas and the New Year, I haven't been posting videos due to other situations that have gone on. I think now is the time to finally take the inspiration from that video and create that into a fully fledged series. This is inspired by an old diary I used to read on the Grey Dogs server back in TEW 2016. I will link said diary in the description below. But today I welcome you to Bret Hart's WCW. Our first show will be in the Tucson, Arizona, and it will be in the TCC Music Hall as we go Monday Nitro before we hit the Big Bang. And the show kicks off with Bret Hart coming down to the ring as the leader of the new consortium, and he is announcing a few changes straight away. Firstly, the return of the Hardcore and the Television Championship. It's going to be a heap of new signings coming into WCW and a return to the National Wrestling Alliance. WCW is back in the NWA. And this Sunday, as Booker T is injured and cannot defend his World Heavyweight title, he has already agreed that he will be vacating the United States title. There's going to be a fatal four-way with 4 qualifiers tonight, and the winner will not only be the number 1 contender, they will also be the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. It's a 69 rating, not a bad start. And our first qualifier sees Jeff Jarrett defeat Conan with a figure 4 leg lock in 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So a pretty simple match. Jarrett's good in the ring, gets a 64. Conan is a handy mid-carder to have, gets a 55. Overall gets a 64. I'm pretty satisfied with that. We're going to go into the Magnificent Seven's locker room because we are not scrapping that storyline. And Ric Flair sat there, he's joined by Lex Luger and Buff Bagwell. And they're like, Jeff Jarrett, he's qualified for the NWA World Heavyweight title match. And later in the night, so will Scott Steiner. So Bagwell and Luger, they want to bring some success into the Magnificent Seven. As such, they are challenging Sean O'Haire and Chuck Palumbo for the World Tag Team Championships at Big Bang. Gets a 57, good promo work from Flair, less good promo work for Bagwell and Luger, but that's why Flair's there. Number 1 contendership for the Cruiserweight title next, as Elix Skipper rolls up AJ Styles to win a triple threat, which also included Rey Mysterio Jr. Gets a 51, 63 from Rey, who carried this match. Skipper gets a 34, Styles also gets a 34, but we're getting Elix Skipper fighting for the Cruiserweight Championship against Shane Helms at Big Bang. Second qualifying match sees Diamond Dallas Page take on Kanyon. And Kanyon picks up the win, pinning Diamond Dallas Page with a flatliner in just over 13 minutes. They didn't click, which is rather frustrating, so we will not be running back that feud from real life. But they still got a 68 rating, which is pretty good. DDP gets a 69 personally, and Kanyon a 57. Kanyon is definitely someone in this new era of WCW that I want to be pushing high to the top of the card as one of the new superstars. We then go backstage where Mike Awesome and Lance Storm are being interviewed by Jeremy Borash. They both announced that they're going to be entering the United States Championship Battle Royale at Big Bang, when they're interrupted by Hugh Morris, and Conan. They also declare for the Battle Royale when they challenge Team Canada to a tag team match on next week's Nitro. So that is booked in for next week. It's going to be Team Canada versus the Locker Room Leaders on Nitro. I don't know why I ended that sentence if I was going to say more. 6-man action in the Cruiserweight division here as Jamie Noble teams with the Young Dragons to take on Chavo Guerrero Jr. and 3 counts of Shannon Moore and Evan Courageous. So, good high-flying match, gets a 47 rating, not too bad. We'll compare at the end to what the other Cruiserweight match did. And, you know, Kaz Hayashi was the strongest in the match, and as such, he picks up the win with a senton backsplash. So a leaping senton then. Third qualifier, which is an exceptional match, which is great news. Scott Steiner defeats Dustin Rhodes with the Frankensteiner in 11:27 after Medeja tripped Dustin, which allowed Steiner to get the upper hand. Gets a 75, which is great news. Dustin gets a 61, a 80 for Steiner. Steiner is absolutely one of the top stars we have right now. We go backstage to Bret Hart's new office, and Eric Bischoff enters. And Bischoff's a bit nervous, because everyone expected him to be at the head of the consortium which took over WCW. But then Bret Hart came and pretty much took it from underneath him. And Bischoff asks what position there is for him in this new look WCW. And Bret Hart just ignores him. Doesn't even look up to acknowledge that Bischoff's in the room. Eventually, Bischoff senses the awkwardness in the room and leaves. And that is it's the start of a story. It's a very simple segment though. Sean O'Haire gets a quick victory over Mark Jindrak with the Widowmaker. Pretty strong for him. 53 for O'Haire, 43 for Jindrak, 46 overall. Not too shabby. And our final qualifier gets a 79, which sees Sting versus Ric Flair. It had to. It was the main event of the last Nitro. Of the old era. It's going to be the main event of the first Nitro of the new era. Just to confirm to you, this is still the same company. We're just going to be taking things in a slightly different direction. And Sting picks up the win with the Scorpion Deathlock in 14 minutes. Gets a 79 rating, which is great. 81 for Sting, 73 for Flair. And they have pretty good chemistry because it's Sting and Ric Flair. Of course they do. And then that's it. Bret Hart comes out at the end and confirms this week Scott Steiner, Jeff Jarrett, Kanyon and Sting will fight for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and the winner will go on to Bash at the Beach, specifically Bash at the Beach, even though there is Great American Bash in between. The match will be taking place at Bash at the Beach versus Booker T, and it'll be a title unification match. The NWA World Heavyweight Championship and the WCW World Heavyweight Championship will become one belt. To find a true world champion. It's a 64 rating. What does the show get overall? 74. We increased our pop in 9 regions. Could have gained in an extra region, but our viewer deal is awful at the moment, and we don't particularly have the popularity to get it big anywhere else. And this is our first episode of Nitro. As you can see, a lot more match heavy than real Nitro was. And that's part of the thing we're going down. A more wrestling focused product. What WCW used to be before it became sports entertained. Well, if you're excited for this series, do let me know. And leave a comment. Obviously, some people will be a little disappointed that this isn't the direct save from the What If episode. But the What If episode was always supposed to be a one-off. It was the last episode before I took a break. So it's similar to the old simulation videos I used to do. They were the one-off, sort of like an ending of a season for me. This is the start of a new season. And this series with this season is hopefully going to go on for a long time. I've been Ben Isaacs, Phantom Gaming, and I'll see you next time. Bye.